Hi, my name is Becca McLeod, and this is a Yin Yoga class. For this class, you will need whatever props will feel good to you to support the body in the various positions that we'll be holding. In Yin, traditionally we hold positions for a fairly long period of time. We're going to move actually quite around the body today, so our positions will be held for only about 3 to 4 minutes, maybe some a little longer. So make sure you have lots of bolsters, pillows, blankets, whatever you need to make yourself comfortable in this. Traditionally, Yin is practiced cold rather than warmed up. So we'll start with our breath work and then get right into the practice. Okay, so finding yourself in a comfortable seated pose. Can be on the heels or cross-legged, any version that works for you. Let's place the hands in the lap in, again, whatever position you're in, and close the eyes. And closing the eyes, just begin to notice where you are in your body today. Maybe allowing the spine to find its neutral position, not pressed forward, not pressed back, but nice and straight without rigidity. We're going to do a few minutes of breath work entitled Nadi Shodhana. If you know this, if you've done any of my classes, you've seen it a lot, then keep the eyes closed. If you're new to this, then flutter the eyes open and let's learn Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breath. So using right or left hand, whichever one works well for you, we're going to need a digit on each side of the hand. We're going to close off the right nostril and inhale through the left only. At the top of that inhale, we're going to switch, close off the left nostril, and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Switch at the top as you hold that inhale and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Hold it at the top, switch, and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And continue on at your own pace, always switching sides at the top of the inhale. Close the eyes and continue with your own breath cycle. And continuing with your own breath cycle, keeping the eyes closed. See if you can add a little length to the inhales and the exhales. If you lose your place, that's okay. Just start again from wherever you are. Always switching to the other nostril at the top of the inhale and exhaling through the other side. Keep going. This breath is excellent for balancing the nervous system, giving us a great start to our practice. And the next time that you exhale through the right, just drop the hands to the lap, keeping the eyes closed. And just come back to a normal breath. And fluttering the eyes open, and we'll get started with our first posture. So our first posture today is butterfly. And I'm going to turn to the side to do this one, and we'll be holding this posture for 3 minutes. Now place the legs out in front, and then bring the soles of the feet together. Now, how far from the body the soles of the feet are is really up to you. The closer to the body the feet, the more you're going to be working on the internal muscles of the inner thigh, the adductors, and the further away the feet are from the body, the more you're going to be working on the backs of the legs and the hamstrings. So I'm going to suggest that you see where your body is today and decide kind of where you want to go. Now, you can utilize the bolsters or pillows underneath the legs, underneath the knees there. You can also sit on one. If you find yourself like really rounding back, then place a blanket or a bolster right underneath the sits bones to help you maintain a little more of a tilt forwards. So let's get started here with butterfly, and we're going to round over. And just let go. Now with yin is about working into the joints and opening up the joints. It's not about the muscles and the flexibility. So just allow gravity to help you open up all the joints. Allow the head to fall. Adjust as you need to. The body will often sort of protest a bit at the beginning of a posture. Just breathe through that. Try to make adjustments only if you feel pain. If it's just sensation, please breathe through that. Place the hands and arms wherever it's most comfortable for you, but try not to be using them to prop yourself up. Every exhale, just melt into the pose. Long, deep, even breaths. Inhale, long, deep breath wherever you are. side out through the mouth. And now slowly, as if you were moving underwater, very slowly press yourself up. Try to keep the spine rounded and let the head come up last as the shoulders roll back and the head comes up. Okay, now help the legs together, the feet plant on the mat, and then from here, let's separate the legs a little bit, and we're just gonna windshield wiper the legs back and forth just a little bit there. You may feel some or hear some cracks and pops here at the beginning of the practice. Okay, now we're going to move into straddle, and this will be a little bit longer of a hold. And I love the bolsters here. So I'm going to grab my bolster here. Actually, I'm going to grab several. We're going to be placing the legs on either side of the body. I'm going to set those up there. And again, you know, where the feet are is going to be about what's comfortable for you today. So find a sort of comfortable position there. I'm going to do this one for 5 minutes, and we're just going to bring the bolster and allow ourselves to come down and be comfortable. You can place the head down on the crossed palms, or you can do one cheek or the other cheek. Just make sure that somewhere in there you switch from one side to the other. Back is rounded. Try not to be too extreme with the straddle portion in the legs. This is about opening up the joints and the tissues, the tendons, the ligaments, not so much about the muscles. Allow the feet to flop, and the shoulders to relax. Allow the whole body to just relax and melt with every exhale. Keep the inhales and the exhales through the nose. If you're not able to go forward at all, elevate the buttocks on a bolster, pillow, or block. It'll help you get a little more forward tilt, more comfortably. If you have sciatica issues, you definitely want to elevate the hips above the knees. If you find it's too intense, again, sensation, yes. Pain, no. You may find partway through the posture that you have a little more that you can move into the pose. Just try to make those shifts with as little disturbance to the body and the mind as possible. Release the kneecaps. Release the sits bones. Release the shoulders. And inhale wherever you are. Big inhale. Open the mouth side out. And then again, moving very slowly. Just roll the body up. Let the shoulders come up, roll back, and then the head. Move your bolsters, props out of the way. Bring the legs together. Bring them in. Hug the knees. Okay, so let's move right on into our next pose, which is caterpillar. Again, the legs are going to come right out in front of the body. We're going to take our bolster and place it right on top of the legs. Now, again, if you have any, if you find yourself like really sort of rounded back here, then place a pillow, bolster, or blanket underneath the sits bones. Also, if it's super uncomfortable to have the legs together, you can work up to this and place the bolster, in between. This is really about finding what your comfort level is. And you might want more than one bolster here. So we're going to be in this pose for about 3 minutes. So again, we're looking for a nice round over. I like to find the round and let the head hang just a little bit. I find that this gives a little more of a release in the neck. deep inhale and sigh it out. Again, slowly coming up, rounding up. Shoulders, and then the head comes up last. Set the bolster aside. Bring the hands behind the body, fingers pointing towards the body, and simply inhale. Let the head come back if that feels good. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to move right into our Swan Pose. So bringing the knees in, let's just give them a nice little hug, and then we're going to roll right on over into tabletop. Now from here, we're going to take the right knee and bring it over towards the left, and bringing the left leg straight out behind. Now, the right knee can be in the middle of the hands, it can be over towards the right. I'm going to show you this version because I think it is probably universally an easier one to do. You can work the leg out to do this, but we're going to start here sort of all in one line here. So you can reach the toes back and kind of, place that. You might like to place a blanket underneath the knee if that's comfortable for you. And then we're going to take the bolster. I'm going to use this one, I think, this time. And we're going to place the bolster right here. Now, you're probably going to adjust this as we go. So in this swan, and we're only going to do this for 2 minutes, we're just going to come down. Now, you might be right here, or you might be all the way down, and whichever one is fine for you. We're going to start in 2 minutes in this, and then we're going to see if we can move a little deeper. So I recommend that you start with a bolster underneath and propping up just a little bit. And the head looks forwards. We're trying to think about squaring the hips off a bit. Again, we're looking for sensation here, but not pain. So, if these postures are new to you, just really allow yourself to feel it out. This first 2 minutes, I think, is really just about, seeing where you are today. Try not to sink into the shoulders, but since we're up on the forearms, let's stay up on the forearms. Last half of this posture here. There might be a number of places that you're feeling this. Again, these first 2 minutes, just feel it out. Allow that left knee to relax. And inhaling wherever you are, and exhaling, sigh it out. And now we're simply going to move down, if you can, a little deeper. Now, if this is too much, stay up where you were. If this feels okay, then we're just simply going to move down, placing the forehead on the arms or wherever's comfortable, the hands. You can also use a block or bolster or blanket to help support that right buttocks if it's too far away from the ground there as well. sleeping swan. It's a deep compression on that right side and in that right hip joint. Deep inhale all the way down into the belly. And just sigh it out. And again, moving slowly, begin to press yourself up. And then placing the hands onto the mat and curling the back toes of the left foot under. Just help yourself back into that tabletop. And then from tabletop, lift that right knee and just do some circles in one direction and then the other direction. And then stretch that right leg out, flex the foot. Oh, we're letting all the blood recirculate after that compression. Okay, let's come back. And we're going to sit. And one of the easiest ways, I think, to get into this is actually, we're going to be doing a pose called shoelace. And you can get into it a number of ways. There are fancy ways to get into it, and there are not. I am simply going to start with my right knee forwards. So I'm sitting just with my right knee forwards. And I'm going to bring the left over as far as is comfortable. And then I'm just going to kind of shimmy around to kind of get the knees stacked on top. And in this pose, try to think about centering the sits bones here. So we want to kind of have that center of gravity, our weight right in the center. All right, so we're going to be here for 3 minutes. And this is shoelace, with the left knee on top. Now, sitting in some version of this might create quite a bit of sensation. This is sometimes a really challenging posture for a lot of us. So sitting right here is fine, just placing the hands on the knees. If you would like more, then you can start moving forwards over the knees, and that would be a great place to utilize your bolsters in front of you. I'm feeling plenty of sensation, so I'm just going to sit right where I am, enjoying this beautiful day out. Just try to keep the spine nice and long, straight, as if someone were kind of pulling your spine up, just to have nice neutral, not pressing forward, not leaning back. Again, if you find that the back is collapsing, place something underneath the sits bones. This sequence is adapted from Bernie Clark and his book Yin Yoga. Great reference for all the postures that we're doing. Breathe through the sensation. If you find pain, then let's back off of that. You can also do this posture if it's really, really just too much. You can also do this posture with the bottom leg straight and just crossing over the top. And deep inhale wherever you are. And sigh it out. Okay, to come out of this, again, there are any number of ways to do this. You can roll forwards on and place the weight into the hands and then just back the knee out. I'm simply going to lift the foot and place it on this side, and then I'm going to come to tabletop and I'm going to give it both knees a little twist, a little rotation. Okay, and then we're going to do our swan and shoelace on the other side. So I'm going to stay facing in this direction so that you can see both sides of that posture. So again, from our tabletop, bring the left knee towards the left wrist, allow that back leg to come out. Find your way down. Again, you can place a block or blanket rolled up, pillow, whatever's comfortable underneath this left buttock and thigh if that's helpful or useful to you. We're going to bring the bolsters forwards here, and we'll start with our 2 minutes on the bolster. So again, this one is more about, this first 2 minutes I find is more about finding where you are, where your body is as you're showing up on the mat today. So we are thinking about sort of centering the weight between. And so if you're really, really tilted over, that's where you want to start placing some support underneath that side. Again, we're not sinking down into the shoulders, but let's maintain a nice upright posture here. The foot can be flexed or the foot can be straight. If the foot is close to the body, I would say keep the foot somewhat pointed, the toes somewhat pointed. If you are doing the version where the knee is a little further out and we're bringing the ankle up to be parallel to the front edge of the mat, then you want to keep the foot flexed to protect the knee and the ankle. Already halfway through. Deep inhale, deep exhale, side out, and then let's just come right on down to whatever version works best for you. Deeper expression of the posture. This is a very deep compression on the left side. You might be able to go a little deeper in the back half of this posture. Deep inhale and sigh it out. And gently and slowly press yourself up. And then move the bolster out of the way, plant the hands on the mat, and then tuck the back toes, and then find your way back to tabletop. And again, let's lift the left leg, few rotations in one direction, and then you're going to have the right knee on top, so I'm going to point my left knee forwards, and I'm just going to bring my right around. Now, if this is super intense, then just let the left leg come out straight, so that, and start with this. This is a great modification of that. So here we go, shoelace with the right knee on top. Finding some balance and grounding in the sits bones. And if you're feeling a lot of sensation in this one, which I do, then I'm going to stay upright, or you can start moving forwards. You can use bolsters here in front. But let's have the hip points pointing forwards. Let's have both sits bones rooted and grounded, and then find your nice straight spine. Breathe through any sensation. Can shift in this posture at any point you need to. If it becomes too much on the knees, Simply bring that left foot, that bottom one, forwards. Listen to what your body has to say today. And take a very deep inhale through the nose, all the way down into the belly, and side out. Now this time to come out of this, we are simply going to lift it up. Oh yes, feel that. Bring the feet out in front, hip width distance or more apart, and then just wiper. Rest back and do your hands and wiper the legs back and forth. And straighten them out and shake the legs a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to need our bolsters for a posture known as saddle. And there are a lot of modifications, as there are for most of these postures for this. Let's bring probably your biggest bolster or pillow onto the mat behind you. And I'm going to show you a couple of different versions of this. So coming up onto the knees, I'm going to sort of pull my bolster up, and I'm going to sit right on the end of that. And I might want another one up here. Now, one version of this is to just help yourself down. And this is a supported version of this. Now, another option for this would be, and everybody's going to be different depending not even just so much on flexibility, but on how your hip joints are shaped, and everybody's are different. The other version is if you do have the flexibility and or comfort to sit in between your calves here, then you would place the bolster right up next to the sacrum and then come back down here. So find whichever version fits you that you're most comfortable with, and we will start our timer there. Now, the arms in this posture can be above the head, they can be out to the side, they can be in goalpost arms, or they can simply rest alongside the body. The main thing here is to feel very supported. This is one of my favorite postures. Your deep inhales on this one, think about really opening up the chest, like really let that breath come through the chest. And every exhale, just melt down around your props. Take a deep inhale wherever you are. And sigh it out. And then moving again very slowly and carefully. Begin to help yourself up. Maybe that's propping with the elbows and then the hands and coming back to a seated position. Now from here, just come on forwards onto the hands. Maybe you back up a little bit around your bolster. And we're just going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the seat and the head and the gaze. And then exhale, round it all out. And inhale, really fill the belly, feel that stretch, and exhale. Round it all out. And back to neutral spine. So we're going to move our bolsters off our mat. And we're going to lay down on our back, getting ready for Banana Asana, which is very much how it sounds. So we'll do Banana Asana on each side. So let's lie down on the back. Do 3 minutes on each side there. And lying down on the back, first find your sort of comfort there. And then we're going to keep the legs fairly close together. And we're going to hold on to the elbows and bring those just right up above the head. And then from here, we'll start towards the right. So we're going to take that right foot and bring it out a bit and then hook the left one over it. And the idea here is to keep the hips, the two buttocks and the hip points in the same spot. So we're just moving the lower side. So as soon you can move the feet out to wherever is comfortable for you. But if you move them out far enough and you find this left hip is coming up, then back it off just a little bit. And then we're going to do the same thing with the upper body by keeping the torso and the shoulders flat and just moving the upper body over. Again, if you start to find that left side coming up, then back it up just a little. So let us set our timer here. And we have the body in a nice curve. Now with the head, you can look straight up. You can turn it to the opposite side. That'll give you a little more of a stretch there. Whatever is most comfortable for you. If you find that the arms in this position are too uncomfortable, you can lift them out straight as well. Banana Asana. Deep stretch on the left side as we curve to the right. And hold on to the elbows loosely, and then you can just let go. We really want to relax in this posture. Inhale wherever you are and exhale. Side out. And then you either upper body or lower body first, whichever works for you. Bring one half back to center. And then the other half back to center. And then let's bring the knees towards the chest and just rock from side to side, resetting the spine. And then we'll do the other side. So now we're gonna take everything to the left so we get this nice stretch on the right. So lower body, keeping the hips grounded. And then the upper body. And then I'll start our timer. Deep stretch on the right side. Allow the feet to flop. If you find it's too intense to have the top ankle hooked, you can move that. But try to keep the legs together, close together. Allow the hands to relax. Again, we're looking for sensation. So it's not total relaxation. It's also not pushing into pain. Yin is about sensation and breathing through it. And inhale wherever you are. And sigh it out. And bottom or top, make your way back to one and then the other to the center of your mat. Hug the knees in towards the chest, bring the nose up, knees. And then just hold on to the legs and rock side to side. All right, we're gonna stay on our back and move into Recline Twist. So taking one of your bolsters, hopefully they're right within reach, then keeping the right leg long, we're gonna press into the left foot, lift up onto that hip, and bring the knee over onto your bolster or pillow. And then we're gonna bring this hand, the right hand can just hang on to the leg, but it's not really a grip. And then we're going to take this left one and just unfurl it behind us. Now, if the shoulder does not reach the ground, then put, again, another prop under there, a bolster, a blanket, what have you. I'm going to set our timer, if I can find it. And the head generally, if it's too uncomfortable to have it look towards the left hand, then just keep it directly focused up. And relax. Supine twist. Supported. And inhaling where you are, sigh it out. Bring the head back to center if you were twisted. Bring the body back onto the back, utilizing the feet for leverage. Hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side. Bring the head up towards the knees. And then let's come down and do it on the other side. So the left leg is going to come down. We're going to use some leverage in the right foot to lift up onto that thigh. Bring it over. Bolster on this side. And then we're going to unfurl the right hand out and relax. Let go anywhere you're gripping. Allow some peace to enter into your mind and body. After this pose, we'll go into our final resting pose of Shavasana. And deep inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. And make your way back to center. Hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side. Bring the head up to meet the knees. And we'll come down into our final posture of Shavasana. So you can either do traditional Shavasana, legs lengthwise and widthwise on the mat with the feet splayed open and the arms. I'm going to move these bolsters out of the way. And a little distance in the arms away from the body. Or you can place a bolster underneath the knees, which just gives you a little more support in the lower back. All right, our final Shavasana. And we relax. Arms a little out from the body. Backs of the hands resting on the mat. Palms up. Allowing the body and the mind to find some stillness after your practice. Allowing all the work we just did in the joints to relax and take effect. Shavasana. In this space, our body and our mind begin to rejuvenate and repair from whatever work we just did. And relax. Any tension in the head or neck, maybe release that by moving side to side. And then finding stillness again. And as you continue in your Shavasana, please stay where you are as I come to a seated position, just to add a little bit of a guided meditation to your process. And starting from the top of the head, relax the back of the head where it meets the mat. Inhaling and exhaling deep and even. And feeling the contact points between the back of the body and the mat below you. Allowing the body to feel heavy and relaxed. Allowing the mind to feel light and relaxed. So feeling the back of the head, the shoulder blades, the whole back of the body, and the buttocks, the backs of the thighs, the calves, the heels of the feet. And then beginning with the toes and keeping the eyes closed. Feel a relaxing wave of warmth enveloping the toes and traveling through the foot to where the whole foot is warm and relaxed. And this wave continues into the ankles. And this wave of warmth and relaxation through the calves and the knees. Feeling the kneecaps relax, filled with warmth. And then up the legs through the thighs and into the hip joints. Feeling the whole lower body, the lower abdomen and the hips, all the way down to the toes, very warm and relaxed. And then into the navel center and the upper abdomen under the rib cage, warmth and relaxation. Continuing to move upwards, filling the entire chest cavity. The body feels warm and relaxed. Bringing that warmth and relaxation into the fingertips, into the palms of the hand, into the wrists and the forearms and the elbows and the upper arms and the shoulders and the whole body from the neck down, feeling warm and relaxed. And feeling that warmth and relaxation travel into the neck and all the individual neck bones. And where the neck meets the skull, and feeling the warmth and relaxation travel into the whole head. The whole skull is filled with warmth and relaxation. Even the hair relaxes. And the whole body, from the very top of the head all the way down to the toes, warm and relaxed. Finding peace in this stillness, warmth and relaxation in the body, peace and stillness in the mind. Allowing the inhales to become a little deeper. And with each inhale, bringing a little more life back into the body, a little more animation. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Slowly, taking your time. And when you're ready, adding in rotating the wrists and the ankles. Keeping the eyes closed. Just slowly coming back to the present. Noticing the sounds within the room and the sounds without. Coming back in. And lifting the arms above the head and stretching the legs and the toes out long. The nice deep good morning stretch. Inhale, stretch, hold it. And exhale, sigh it out, relax. And again, inhaling deep and filling the belly and stretching the fingers and the toes away from the body. And exhale, relax. One more time. Inhale, stretch, reach with the fingers and the toes, fill the body with air and hold it, and sigh it out. And moving slowly and carefully and keeping the eyes closed. Roll over to one side or the other and just take a few breaths here. And continuing to move slowly, and as you're ready, carefully press yourself up and back into a seated position, and the eyes remain closed. And when you've found a comfortable seated position, just allow the hands to rest in the lap. And bring yourself fully back to your body in this space and time. And then the hands come together, palms touch, hands to heart center. Thanking yourself and your body for this time on your mat today. I thank you for the time that you've allowed me to be a part of your yoga practice, going on about your day or finishing your day, whichever the case may be, in a steadier state of mind and peace. Namaste.